Hello, welcome to ActiveLab, the official podcast of Active San Gabriel Valley. We're doing a special Noches de las Luminarias series where we're highlighting this year's award winners. So as we celebrate 15 years of community-driven work, we're taking a moment to reflect on what we've been, what we've built together, and the people powering the movement for safe streets, clean air, and healthier neighborhoods. My name is Carly, and I'll be your host today, and I'm interviewing Alana Johnson. Welcome, Alana. Congratulations on winning the Outstanding SGV Government Staff Award of 2025. So this award recognizes local public servants who go above and beyond to make our city safer, more sustainable, and more connected. So if you could just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your role with the City of Arcadia and how you got into this line of work.
For sure, and thanks for having me today. It's an honor to receive this award. In terms of what I do at the City of Arcadia, I've been with the city for about 10 years now. I'm currently the Transportation Services Manager, and so I manage the day-to-day transit responsibilities. We have Arcadia Transit, which is the transit system in the city. It is a system that provides a general public fixed route system as well as dial-a-ride services for our residents who are seniors or have a disability. And so with that comes the responsibility of just managing contracts, reporting to various entities where we receive our transit funding from. Aside from that, I get to work on large-scale, bigger picture transportation-related projects, and that's when I really pull in our engineers. And they put the vision, the ideas to life and actually create those on-the-ground projects. So my role really in that sense is just ensuring we get the proper funding for those projects. In terms of how I got into the role, I have been in public service for about 15 years in total.
Oh, wow.
And so, most of my time spent has been kind of in a generalist role. So really building a foundation for public service. Mm-hmm. And so I started growing an interest specifically in transportation. I think that it's very interesting to see the direct impact it makes on people's everyday lives. But also how it intersects with, local issues like equity, mm-hmm. Land use, and also economic development. So that's when my interest started growing and an opportunity came up for me to really focus in on this area. And so I've been doing it ever since at Arcadia for about 2.5 years. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, congrats on such a long time in the field. That's really awesome. What has kept you motivated and engaged in local government service?
Yeah, I'd say that being able to make a tangible difference in people's everyday lives. And when you're part of a project and you see it all throughout, like from conception and the vision to actually making it happen and people are using whatever difference that you've made, like whether it be, bus shelter improvements or bus stop improvements, I feel like that's rewarding and that keeps me motivated. And also, no 2 days are the same. So there's just new challenges to solve. There's new experiences. I think that is also another way that's just kept me in public service.
No, I totally agree. I think, as we both know, a lot of these things take a long time to see through, but it is such a rewarding experience when you do get to see the final product and people actually using these things. So
totally.
I relate to that. So since stepping into the Transportation Services Manager role, what are some projects or milestones that you're most proud of?
Yeah, it's been about 2.5 years now, like I mentioned, and I think the big one is the Colorado Boulevard Complete Streets project.
Oh, yeah.
That's a huge milestone for us. Our team previously received a $3 million federal fund for that project, but it was quickly recognized that we needed more money in order to fund the entire vision of that project. Yeah. And so we applied for additional grants And luckily, we just received Measure M sub-regional program funding for an additional $4.5 million for the project. So
amazing.
That's a major project that's starting to become in motion, and we're excited to begin next year with construction. So
very cool.
I'd also say the next big milestone or project to be part of is the active transportation plan that we recently received funding for to create. We've done a lot of great things in terms of bike and pedestrian infrastructure in the city, but actually having an official plan in place aligns with all of the efforts we've already made, and it makes us more competitive for future funding. So I think it just makes it all official in terms of what we're already doing for the city. Lastly, we took a deep dive into the assessment of the transit system. And so, we're nearing the end of that project, and we received a lot of valuable feedback from the community. And so it's like we've previously talked about, is seeing a project from the beginning to the end and like actual implementation. This is a very great example of that, is that we're getting community feedback, and then it's a matter of what we're going to do with that feedback to make the system better.
Okay, well, that leads me to my next question. So speaking of the transit assessment, what kind of feedback are you hearing from the community?
Yeah, I mean, we've received a lot of valuable feedback. I think the main takeaway is the overall awareness of the system is relatively low. And it's a mix of those that might not be aware that we have this really great transit system in the city, or they just don't know how to use it. And so learning that is an opportunity for us to make it better. Yeah. We've also learned some great things in terms of what our transit system's already doing. A majority of our current users are seniors, and so through the assessment, it has shown that the route system that we already have in place is serving the high density areas of where there's seniors, low income residents, and people that do not own a vehicle. So that's been something, and some good insight that we've got from the assessment thus far. And then I would say just us having to place better connectivity throughout the city in various areas and points of interest, whether that be shopping centers or medical offices. There's ways and opportunities there that we can enhance the mobility for everyone in the community.
Very cool. Okay, next question. So what's been your experience working on funding and grants? And also, follow up, any advice for other city staff looking to bring resources into their communities?
Yeah, so I have a lot of experience in terms of the funding support for projects, and of course that starts with the grant application. I think one piece of advice is just the power of storytelling. Funding agencies, of course, they love the data. They like to see the data in order to grade and provide points towards your responses, throughout the application. But being able to share how the proposed project benefits people, and also, what barriers are being removed, I think that is very compelling for your application. I'd also say a really critical piece are partnerships.
Oh, yeah.
And so, whether that be the school district, businesses in your city, other neighboring cities, being able to collaborate with your natural partners in the community will be really helpful, especially when it comes to letters of support. And so it's not showing that you're just interested in this project. It kind of shows the buy-in from these various agencies. And so, I'd like to thank ActiveSGV especially, because You guys have been great partners in providing us with letters of support for all of our projects and attending our community events, our workshops, especially the last one for Colorado Complete Streets. So having those partnerships are really important.
I totally agree, and we're very happy to be a partner in making all this possible. So, because we're both so passionate about this, my next question is about what does equitable transportation look like to you, and how does that show up in your work?
Yeah, I mean, equitable transportation is ensuring that everyone, no matter their income, their age, their ability, has access to safe and reliable ways of getting around. And that's not just through transit. It's through ensuring that there's, bike and pedestrian infrastructure. So that to me is equitable transportation, and it's giving people the freedom and dignity to participate in their community.
I love that.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Okay, so outside of your day-to-day role, what do you enjoy most about living or spending time in the San Gabriel Valley?
Yeah, so I grew up visiting my grandparents in Arcadia.
Okay.
So Arcadia has always had a special place in my heart. Visit them quite often, golfed with my grandpa at different golf courses within the area. And so I still have family to this day that live throughout San Gabriel Valley. And so I'd say, there's a familiarity for me with the neighborhoods. They feel safe, accessible. And also, San Gabriel Valley is diverse in culture. And so you see that in the food. You see that in the different neighborhoods that you visit. And so that I appreciate the most.
Definitely. Very cool. Okay. Finally, if you had a free afternoon and wanted to show a friend some highlights of Arcadia, where would you take them?
Okay, there's so much to do in Arcadia, but I think selfishly I'm a foodie.
Okay.
And so
Good.
I would definitely take my friend to a dumpling restaurant because there are so many options in Arcadia. Probably grab some really good boba afterwards. Walk it off at the Arboretum.
Nice.
And then pick up some great snacks over at H Mart. So
that sounds like the perfect day.
Yeah.
I want to do it right now.
Right.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in to ActiveLab, and thank you so much, Alana, for joining us today. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at ActiveSGV for more stories, event updates, and behind-the-scenes looks at this year's celebration. And don't forget to get your tickets for Noche de las Luminarias and join us in honoring 15 years of community action. The link is in our bio. You won't want to miss it. It's going to be a really fun party.
Great.
Thank you.